Hey YouTube, I've got another knife review for you today. This is the Benchmade 470 Emissary knife, and the blade length on this, 3 inches. It is an S30V blade. It is made in the USA. Aluminum handle, bead blasted aluminum, and the weight on this is only 2.2 ounces, so an ultralight, very handy, smaller EDC type knife. The normal price on this is around 170, but if you shop around you can get it for less. I found this one for 128. It was being sold at Knife Works and it was on sale, so I picked it up, and it is quite a knife. Let's take a closer look at this blade. Alright, and here you see the bead blasted aluminum. It looks like titanium. I mean, it has the look of titanium, but it is anodized aluminum. And you see it is a patented Benchmade axis locking mechanism, an extremely compact method of locking. Now, this is a secondary lock. If you're afraid of this coming open in your pocket, you can engage that secondary lock right there. See the pivot screw there. I don't use secondary safeties. I don't feel it's needed, but there it is. Dual thumb stud for your openers there. Before that, pocket clip. Comes right side tip up carry. Alright, it can be adjusted to left side tip up carry, so it's a 2-position clip. Tubed lanyard hole right there. Now the deployment. Now, the first thing I have to say about this knife, the deployment, it's like the best, easiest, smoothest deployment that it could possibly be. I would give it an A+. I'm left-handed, but I have no problem at all deploying this with my weak side hand. And it is assisted opening. I never thought that I would find a knife that deployed better than the flipper designs like this. This is my Kershaw Skyline. I would rate this as a solid A. I mean, great deployment, super fast, super easy. I never thought that I would find an assisted thumb stud style knife that would actually be better deploying than this knife, but I have just found it, and in that sense you do get what you pay for. Right. The second thing I want to mention about this knife, and you see the drop point. You see the drop point S30V blade. It came with very high initial sharpness. It's a Cabela's catalog. Alright, so extreme initial sharpness on the blade, ease of deployment. There's no blade play at all on the one which I received. Overall, I mean, this is a very impressive blade. I mean, I was on the fence on getting this because it is expensive. Even with a discount, it was still pretty expensive, but I mean, I can definitely feel the quality in this. I mean, as I said, deployment was perfect. Alright, and here you see the Benchmade knife in size comparison to some other knives around the same blade length. From left to right, you have the Damascus Kershaw Skyline. You have the foliage green Spyderco Delica, the Benchmade 470, and the Kershaw Leek gold plated. And that last knife is a Seki Cuts knife, Seki Cuts folding katana knife. A little known knife, but it was around the same length and it looks cool, so I figured I'd include it. And as you can see, this is a direct competitor to some very classic small EDC knives. I mean, Skyline, Delica, and Leek, those are widely carried classic knives. So, you know, the question is, how does the Benchmade compare to them? Well, that Skyline and Leek, the normal price would be $30 for the non-pimped models. The pimped models you see there are $50 each, right? And that Delica, it was $105 when I bought it, and the Secchi knife was $90. So how does the almost $130 Benchmade compare to those? Well, you know, the Benchmade, it's definitely, it's lighter. I mean, it's lighter than all of these. The deployment is better than all of these. It's even better than the Skyline, which I wasn't sure if that was possible. The deployment is a lot better than on the Leek. Okay, that Leek frame lock can be tricky to deploy. And looks-wise, I mean, I think it looks pretty. I mean, it looks like a titanium knife. I mean, it looks pretty damn good looking in my opinion, my subjective opinion. All right, so my final verdict on this Benchmade Emissary knife. Definitely glad I got it. It's definitely very good for the price. You know, I'm not going to recommend it if you're on a very tight budget, or if you need your money for other things, you know, your firearms, your other hobbies. But if you do want to go this price range, I do recommend it. If you prefer a 3-inch blade length for your EDC, and I gotta admit, I prefer 3.5 inch as my normal EDC length, but I realize that 3 inch is actually the most popular from all, you know, from listening to all the viewers. 3 inch is probably the easiest, most convenient, most popular length. If you're looking for a production folder that's kind of like the top of the line, you know, in this length, this would be it. All right. Beyond this, you know, you could get custom knives that are even more expensive, but if you want one of the best production ones out there, I would recommend this. I hope you enjoyed this knife review. Stay tuned for many more. I am out of here, dudes. Peace out.